Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning for another news update for Tuesday, September 9, 2025. And I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and productive day. And in the news this morning, action taken against the rural school bus driver for speeding violations, Vaz says. Transport Minister Darrell Vaz says one driver in the government's rural school bus program was recorded as having 14 speeding violations during the first official rollout of the buses on Monday. In a post on Monday evening on social media platform X, Vaz said he was sharing the information in the interest of transparency. Action has been taken by the authorities as this is unacceptable. The technology works and we are committed to ensuring the highest standards are maintained, he said. Some 60 buses were deployed on Monday in the rollout of the National Rural School Bus Program. Vaz Education Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon and the Finance Minister Favour Williams were among those in attendance on Monday morning to oversee the program. Vaz said a review will be done on Friday and, if necessary, adjustments made before next Monday. Some 200 plus schools are set to benefit from the bus program. Twin brothers and the Biggs charged for alleged motorcycle theft. 3 men, including twin brothers, have been charged with housebreaking and larceny and receiving stolen property in relation to the theft of motorcycles and all-terrain vehicles. Charged are 28-year-old deliveryman Kevon James, 28-year-old mechanic Kedon James, both of Morningside Drive, Montego Bay in St. James, and 35-year-old Derek Robinson, otherwise called Biggs, a chef of Dr. Chang Boulevard, Norwood, also in St. James. The Montego Bay police say on 3 separate occasions between June 23 and August 3, the men broke into a warehouse in Cousins Cove, Green Island, Hanover, and stole missile motorcycles and ATV bikes amounting to over $20 million. A report was made to the police, and the list of the stolen motorcycles, inclusive of their engine and the chassis numbers, handed over to them. In August, all 3 men were arrested during a police operation and the motorcycles removed. The men were taken into custody. On September 1, the 3 men were charged for the offenses after interviews were conducted in the presence of their attorneys. Their court dates are being finalized. Political ombudsman urges timely removal of campaign materials. The political ombudsman is appealing to political parties and the candidates to remove campaign-related advertisements and paraphernalia following the September 3 general elections. All campaign materials, including posters, banners, billboards, murals, painted slogans, flags, streamers, stickers, placards, ribbons, and other forms of election advertising, must be removed from public and private property where campaign materials were placed no later than Wednesday, September 17, 2025, in keeping with the legal requirement for removal within 14 days of Election Day, the office said in a statement on Monday. The political ombudsman commended the active participation of all stakeholders in the democratic process and now urges full compliance with the law to restore public and private spaces across Jamaica. The office said the failure to comply may result in fines, prosecution, recovery of cleanup costs, or forfeiture of campaign deposits. Enforcement authorities are also empowered to remove offending materials at the expense of those responsible. All parties are advised to organize removal crews by constituency and division and keep records of cleared areas. Use safe methods and the proper equipment. Avoid damage to poles, trees, and structures. Dispose of materials responsibly by separating posters, streamers, and rigid frames for waste collection. Restore affected surfaces, including removing adhesives or repainting with the owner's consent. Document completion with the photos and the dates for accountability. Members of the public are also being encouraged to assist in restoring order by reporting campaign materials left in place after September 17, 2025. Commissioner declares the Police Officers Association chair vacated. Police Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake has directed that the chair of the Police Officers Association be vacated, and said the current holder will no longer be granted audience with the Police High Command, nor will he be permitted to represent the Jamaica Constabulary Force outside of official duties. The High Command is concerned that reports of alleged indiscipline and misconduct by the chairman may compromise the conduct of the POA, particularly at a time when the organization is required to engage in highly technical salary and benefits negotiations with the government of Jamaica, the JCF said in a release issued to its officers Monday afternoon. The High Command did not give specifics of the allegations against the POA chairman, Senior Superintendent of Police Wayne Cameron. However, it said its position was reinforced by reports of the executive's failure to meet to conduct the business of the POA, as well as to convene a general meeting over several years. It also said the commissioner's action, which was exercised under his powers of superintendence over the police force, is necessary to safeguard the interest of all gazetted officers. The High Command said it will provide support where necessary to facilitate a smooth and timely transition. In the interim, the remaining members of the POA executive will appoint a chairman pro tem who will lead the POA into a special general meeting for the purpose of electing a new executive in accordance with established conventions. Woman stabbed after confronting man for allegedly slapping her butt. A court date is to be set for a Clarendon man who allegedly stabbed a woman after she confronted him for allegedly slapping her on the butt. The Clarendon police have charged 31-year-old Horatio Henry, a construction worker of New Road, Thompson Town, with assaulting a female, indecent assault, and assault at common law. The Mapen Criminal Investigation Branch reported that at 5 p.m. on Monday, July 14, in the Beckford Crawl district, the woman was attending a bike show when Henry allegedly slapped her. An argument developed between the two, during which Henry reportedly pushed the woman in her chest, causing pain. Moments later, the argument escalated, and Henry used a knife to stab the victim. A report was made to the police, and an investigation ensued. Henry was apprehended and charged on September 3 after he was positively identified and a complainant statement laid. Farmer struck by lightning while on roof in Bethel Town. A farmer on Friday died after being struck by lightning in Bethel Town, Westmoreland. Deceased is the 38-year-old Adine Porter of Marl Road in the parish. Porter was on the roof of his house when he was struck by lightning. He was assisted to the hospital but died while being transported. The incident is being investigated by the police. A previous version of this story incorrectly reported that the man was electrocuted by power lines. We regretted the error. Sooty charged with murder. A 25-year-old man of a Kingston address has been charged in connection with the murder of 24-year-old Mark French, otherwise called Dada, of East Road, Kingston 12, on Wednesday, January 31, 2024. Charged is Richard Fox, otherwise called Sooty, of Arnett Gardens, Kingston 12. Fox has been charged with murder, possession of a prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, and using a firearm to commit a felony. Reports from the Denham Town Police are that, after months on the run, Fox turned himself into the police and was charged after he was pointed out in an identification parade and a question and answer session in the presence of his attorney. A court date for him is being finalized. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.